Hey everyone, it's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and where else would I be but here with you? DJ Stutz here at Little Hearts Academy, USA, and I am the host of Imperfect Heroes podcast. And, sorry, I just took a drink, my throat was a little dry. So this is kind of where it's happening right now. I'm in a downstairs basement bedroom for this week and next week. And, we're working on getting our house built in Idaho. And so we're staying with my son in Salt Lake City right now. He's the one that is a cop, Mr. ADHD, that I love so much. And we are enjoying time with his two kids and his sweetheart. And then after that, we will be house sitting in Reno. And then after that, we're going to be in Reno again, but at my daughter's house, watching her kids while they go, she and her husband go off on a 40th birthday adventure. And then the week after that, I'll be in California with another son. And who knows where we'll be after that. We'll see. We'll see how things are going. So anyway, with all that chaos, I still work hard on our Imperfect Heroes and then on the coaching and getting everything done, answering emails. So if you have any concerns, questions, stories to share, please feel free. Email me at djstutz, S-T-U-T-Z, at littleheartsacademyusa.com. And I am more than excited to connect with you and to answer questions, share stories, celebrate with you when things go well, all of that stuff. That is like really the piece that I love the most of doing all of this work is the connection I get with my listeners and the people I coach, and I truly do enjoy that. That's my favorite piece. Anyway, okay, so this week it's episode 62, and we call it the little things. It's the little things that count. And I'm talking with Dr. Gilbert, and he is an author, he's a public speaker, he's a podcaster, he is a therapist, and we talked about what we can do as parents to teach our children the important values and ethics that they are going to need to be successful in a world of adults. Eventually they're going to get there. I know it seems like it's a long way off, but it's closer than you think, trust me. So anyway, a little bit about Corey. He is the CEO and founder of a group called the HealingLives Center. And every day he works passionately to support and coach individuals of all walks of life as they overcome their pain, begin to understand who they are, and then even see the value of their suffering. And there is so much to learn in the hard parts of life. And there's actually joy to be found there. That's not really what we talked about. That's what Corey does. But what we talked about was our kids. And it's amazing that his story is just one miracle after another, I think. He's been severely ill most of his life, and he still battles with the effects of his illness. But he has been able to get married, happily married. He's gone on and being able to get his PhD. Took him a little longer because of his health issues. He's got two amazing kids, which he is just so surprised that they even got there. They were told they would never be able to have kids. And here he is with these amazing kids in his life. He is a man of faith, and which, always makes me like them more. And we had a great discussion. So some of the things that we talked about is how to be an active parent. So many times we'll have a parent that is in the house but unengaged. So whether it's watching TV, playing video games, and you can even be not hooked in or plugged in to, oh my gosh, I have a hiccup, plugged into your family when you're out doing things. So whether you're working on the car, these hiccups, whether you're mowing the lawn, weeding the garden, whatever it is, that is, and you're not doing it engaging your kids. Even a 3-year-old can help you while you're pushing the lawnmower, or get them one of those little I'm sorry, get them one of those little toy mowers, and then bubbles come out, and let them mow with you with their little mower. If you're working on the car, bring them out, have them help you. Get wrenches or whatever, explain what you're doing. They may not understand all of it, but what they do understand is that they're important to you, that they're engaged with you. And it might take a little longer. That's okay. It might take a little longer. So plan on that. Whether it's folding clothes and doing laundry, even getting dinner ready. It might be a little messier. It might take a little bit longer, but every minute of that is totally, totally worth it. So be an active parent and engage with your kids. Pay attention to what they're consuming on social media and in their music. There's a lot of songs out there that are inappropriate for anyone of any age, in my opinion. And yet they're being called the song of the year and all of this. It's just crazy. I would make sure that if I notice my kids really love a song, I would go and look up the lyrics, and you can decide, is this what I want my child to be singing? And I've heard parents say, oh, they don't know the words, or, I just like the tune, so I don't really pay attention to the words. And yet your subconscious and your child's subconscious does pay attention, and they work that through their brain. They integrate it into the way that you think, and it has a bigger effect than you ever realize. And so I would be very careful. There's a lot of great songs that are wonderful and have catchy tunes and have a great message. And so I would kind of veer off and try to get my kids more into that. And it's okay to ban a song. Say, nope, we're not listening to that one. It is off our playlist. And you can do that with things like Pandora or your playlists or whatever. You can say, I don't want this song, and they will pay attention to that. So that's something that we can do. And the social media that they're on, really pay attention. How much social media are they on? Now, I don't know how. I hear about families, no social media, and that's great for them if they can pull it off, but that might not be the best rule for every family. There are great things on social media. There are a lot of how-to videos. There's a lot of fun dancing and stories and all kinds of stuff. I have a few stories on social media as well. And so you can always look those up under Little Hearts Academy USA. That's my channel. And you can find some of the stories. I've got some songs, or you can just go to the website. Woo! You can go to the website, which is www.littleheartsacademyusa.com. And if you click around and look around, you'll see the stories and the songs. And I have a couple of projects that you can do with your kids. And we're looking to expand on that. It's kind of small right now, but we're looking to expand on that and help give parents more ideas of things that they can do. All right, so we're going to pay attention to that. And we talked about helping your kids see their own value and how they fit into the world. And so each kid, has different talents and different abilities. And so maybe you have a child that's an amazing pianist, or maybe you have a child that's a great, basketball player. It doesn't mean that they're going to grow up to be in the NBA. In fact, that's kind of an awful world, I think, with some of the attitudes and all the money that comes in. It's nice to have money, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like that's a great world for our kids to be in. But it can be a great, like my husband found great joy. He was a good basketball player, and he played basketball, on the playground at a community thing. He found some at a church, and he would go and play, 2-3 times a week. Sometimes he'd get up real early in the morning and go and play before work, and it just helped him stress. He didn't need to be an NBA player. He didn't need to be this awesome killer player, but it was something that brought him joy, gave him some physical activity and friendship. He connected with the people that he was playing with, and that's kind of a better place for them to be. Maybe they're really smart and science is their thing, or math, or they write great stories. And even when they're little, you can listen, they can make up great stories. You can record them on your phone, you can type them out. What fun would that be to have for them to look back on, for you to read to their kids that your daddy wrote this when he was your age, or your mommy wrote this when she was your age, and to see the things that were going on back then. So that's something that we can do and help our kids understand that they have value. And it doesn't need to be, this set thing, or that's our family does this, but it can be a lot of different things. Kids in in the same family will have very different personalities and outlooks and abilities and strengths and weaknesses. And so we're going to look at them individually and help them move forward. Now, are there some things though that they might want to do that we don't need to support them in? They might not be a great thing. And so you need to really look at it and see what it is that they're interested in, and then help them find an appropriate way to use that talent. Do you really want your child to be an influencer on YouTube or TikTok or whatever? I mean, have you seen some of that? Okay, I'm on YouTube, and okay, I'm on TikTok, Little Hearts Academy USA, but I'm not trying to make everyone say, oh, look, here I am. I'm honestly trying to help other people. And maybe, so if they're interested in that, let's find a way to be positive. Let's show how to do a lemonade stand, or the best way to clean your room, or and let them make a video of those things and be there. But I see people who actually have committed suicide because they didn't get enough clicks, or they didn't have a big enough following, or they got shunned because of something that, they said in innocence, and, the cancel culture went after them. And that's a horrible thing. And I don't want my kids dependent on that feedback, that input, in order to have value in their lives. So that's one of the things. We talked about how we are there for our kids. Are we there? Okay. Fine, I'll go. Just, leave me alone. Give me this time. Do they feel like they're second place or third or fourth? And so how are we there for our kids? Are we happy to be there? Yeah, let's go do that. Give me 5 minutes. You got a timer? Set the timer. Let the kid hold the timer. I need 5 minutes. We're going to go do that because that's a great idea. Or I love doing that with you. And so when you really do have to get something done that can't be put off, for a half an hour or so, then just give them that. But let them know you are going to be there for them, and we're going to have fun, and you are really important to me. And let them know that. All right, let me see. And it is so important. We talked about how you need to have important conversations about your values, your beliefs, your faith, your what are the important pieces of your family when they're young. Because once they're teenagers, they get into what Dr. Gilbert calls the double digits, right? And he's probably right. We become stupid. Oh, Mom, you're always on my case. But if we can build those structures within, if we can build those relationships while they're little, that's going to help. during those double-digit years. And so really think on having those conversations. This is what we believe, and this is how we react to things. These are the stories that we know. It's funny because, you know, you could talk about Bible stories and sharing them and all of that. Next week, I have Jay Ado on, and he has done some work with Bible stories with that twist, with an alternative. You'll hear more about that next week, so keep that in mind. But getting all of that done in the early years, the earliest times, when my oldest was, let me see, well, they're 2 weeks short of 2 years apart. And so I had Shiloh, and so when I would be nursing him and stuff, and, you know, Candace would that's when they want your attention, right? Because, you know, wait, why are you talking to that kid? I'm used to being the only one. But we would read stories together while I was nursing. And so it got to be where she really enjoyed that time. I'd have the baby and she could hold the book. She helped me turn the pages. And sometimes we would read Bible stories together. Even at 2 years old, she may not have understood everything, but she did get the gist of the stories of the Bible and of faith. And then we want to help them, you know, going back to that music and social media and the screen time. We want to help them avoid experiences that will set them up for failure and even go so far as disabling them emotionally, spiritually, as they grow. And so we've now got a situation where the average age for a little boy to first be introduced to pornography is, the last I checked, it was 8 years old. Really young. And that's the average. That means that there are a lot of kids who are being exposed to that even at a younger age. And we also know for sure, with all of the studies that are out, there's a ton of them out there. Go look and find them, because there's a ton of them on the negative impact of exposure to pornography and the addictive nature of it. And it actually debilitates, and our little girls are being exposed to it as well. And it changes their attitudes, their expectations, their thoughts about how they relate to another person, their relationships. It's just a huge thing. And so, and that even goes with the music when they're talking about, you know, negative relationships. I mean, songs that talk about rape and that talk about demeaning women. So women feel demeaned in that song, and the boys have that attitude. Oh, they don't feel that. I don't feel that. I just like that song. You internalize it. Your subconscious, your inner self internalizes that, and it does have an effect on you, on your kids, and on their attitudes about themselves and about how they relate to the people around them. And then it's really important to actually take the time to investigate the resources that are available to you. And so I hear people say, oh, I don't have time for coaching. I don't have time for a call. I don't have time to, you know, listen to all these podcasts. Well, you drive to work, you watch practice, you're at a practice, you're folding laundry, you're doing whatever. And you can always pop something in your ear and just listen. And well, I hope you'll listen to my podcast. There are lots of podcasts out there that are really helpful with relationships, with children, with certain styles of parenting that maybe you want to find out more on. And so you can do all of these things. You can make the time. You're just going to multitask with it. But we talked about how often, and one of the stories actually that we used in the podcast is, you've got someone that's trying to saw a big piece of wood, and all they had on hand is one of those hand saws. So they're sawing away, and it's like, you know, you can just go get a mechanical saw, you know, whatever style you're going to get. You can, and you'll be through with that in a second. Yeah, but I'm busy sawing. Well, that's going to take you so long that by the time you go to the hardware store, get whatever saw it is that you need, come back and do it, you'd still save time. than continuing with the handsaw. And I think we do that with parenting a lot. Well, I don't have time to find out this and that. And yet, if you took that extra time somewhere while you're getting dressed in the morning, while you're cleaning up your face at night, while you're driving to work, while whatever, and you take the time to just listen and maybe do a little bit of research instead of watching whatever it is you watch, that you're gonna actually save so much time, so many problems. You're gonna strengthen relationships because now you have tools to help you get to the goals that you are wanting to accomplish for your family, for your relationship with your kids. And so I really encourage you to find a way to double task if you need to, and that's fine, but to spend some time really looking at what are some other things that I can do. Why is it so hard getting out the door in the morning? Why is it so hard getting everyone into bed at night? How much sleep do they need? You know, what about nutrition? What about discipline and helping my kids relate to one another? How can they be independent? How can they problem solve? And you know, without feeling like they're a victim all the time. Why am I looking to be a victim all the time? That's something that's kind of big in our society right now. And we need to get over that. And just like you do you. But, you know, it's funny, we were talking because I happen to be pretty strong in my feelings on politics and society. And we were talking about things like the First Amendment and the freedom of speech. And my kids were saying, Mom, you know, where are you on that? Like, is it okay for people to... I said, people should say whatever it is that they say. Because if they're an idiot, I want them to expose themselves. If they're racist, expose yourself as that. And then I know who I'm dealing with. But if everyone's afraid to show who they really are, but they're still that person deep down, they're still going to undermine you because of whatever their beliefs and systems are, and you don't know that coming in, you know, let's learn to listen to one another and to understand one another, and, you know, and to say, oh, I know for this part, I don't want to go to that person for help. They might be really useful for me in another thing, or I can be useful to them, but this thing isn't where it's going to work. And so we need to be able to teach our children to have those abilities to not be offended, to listen to what someone says, and then ask, what does that mean to me? What does that mean for our relationship? What does that mean going forward? And these are key things that our kids need to know when they're little. It's so important for that. So anyway, I hope you listen to the podcast. We go into so much more detail, so many great ideas, and I hope that you are able to enjoy them. I would love to hear what you think about this episode, and you can either leave it on Facebook, you can email me, DJ Stutz at littleheartsacademyusa.com, or you can rate and review the podcast and leave a comment there. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I know that my guests would love to hear that as well. So before we go, I just wanted to remind you that I do have one-on-one coaching that is open. So my group coaching, the Sister-Owned Society, is closed. It's going to be closed until November. And so if you're wanting to get in on that, pay attention. But now I have the one-on-one. And here's the thing. I am willing to do a free 50-minute one-on-one coaching session with anybody who wants it. And so all you have to do is just email me at djstutz@littleheartsacademyusa.com. I'm also going to put a link, as soon as we're done here, I'll put the link to my calendar. And you can just go in, register for a time that you want coaching, and then send me an email saying I just registered and this is what I'm looking for. And I will be more than happy to spend that time. So anybody can get a free one-on-one session, 50 minutes with me. And then if you like it, you can sign up for a month worth. So or 4 weeks. So we go 4 weeks at a time. And then we'll see how that works for you. But I have a feeling that you will enjoy our time together, whether you decide to sign up for one-on-one or not. I'm fine either way, honestly. And there's no obligation, no pressure. And so if you also want to get on my email list specifically for our newsletter, so we send it out just once a week. If I have something coming up, you might get an extra 1 or 2 during the week, but that's not often. And we just talk about the podcast. We talk about ideas for you, for your family and for your kids. We give you resources, links that you can just click on and learn more. And so if you want to do that, I think I'll also put the link to that in our comments as soon as we're done. So, but it's always just at my website, www.littleheartsacademyusa.com, and you can just scroll down to where it's a sign up for emails, and you can just sign up there. But I'll put the link in the comments below. So I wish you all joy. I wish you all happiness. I wish you all great relationships with your family and with your kids. And as we work together, let's find joy in parenting. And I'll see you next week. Oh, wait. Tomorrow, I forgot to tell you. Tomorrow, which will be September 1st, I will be on Instagram doing a live, my very first Instagram live. And that's going to be at 6 o'clock on my Imperfect Heroes podcast page. So anyway, other than that, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.